your face, I see so clear.
What's going on, family?
Memories in my mind.
It is your lady love.
I
You are
hear
watching
so clear.
one of the hottest
Don't
stations
you dare forget the feel so real.
Welcome, 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 welcome. You are watching WJZZ Cool TV. You are joining the Lady Love and Hitman E Underground Music Review with our featured amazing brother co-host, Cloutz.
How you doing today?
Hi, Cloutz.
I'm excited to be here.
I'm so glad he's here, y'all. This is like one of the best men I know in the world, okay?
In the world?
In the world.
Whoa.
In the world.
Well, I
In the
appreciate
world.
that. I appreciate that.
Because when I met him, immediately we vibed. And when you can find people that you vibe with and you don't have an issue, you don't have to explain yourself, you don't have to talk, over talking, under talking, they get you right away. You want to keep those people in your life. And when I met Cloutz was that guy. Not only was he that guy, he had a camera on him, so he was following.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute, you got a camera too?
Oh yeah, I'm like a little mini paparazzi.
Paparazzi hit me in the
Except
backseat
I'm
of my
not
heart.
gossip. Hey, hold on, you distracted me, girl. It's like a shiny thing over here, like.
Okay, listen, y'all. He is going to tell his story. I want him to talk to you a little bit about who he is, where he's from, and what he does. So you all can get to know him because you're going to see his face a little bit more often than never. Okay?
Uh-oh.
Tell them about you.
Uh-oh, they're in trouble now.
They are in trouble.
They're in trouble now. No, actually, I am a producer. I started out as an artist myself, and I just kind of, instead of paying the expensive money to get into a studio, I kind of learned how to produce myself. So it was kind of like a learning curve that kind of like set me up for what was next to come in my life. So
See?
then I started producing other artists, and eventually it got to the point to where my mentality went to switching to producer to I'm picking up the camera.
See?
So while I'm producing, I'm gonna pick up the camera and start doing music videos for the artists. So if I can do this myself, it gives me more value.
See?
Not only that, but it helps you just stay busy and consistent.
Yeah.
Because I learned in this business, consistency and turnaround rate are like the most two important things that you can come with.
Honey?
People need that. When you pay hundreds of dollars for a video, you're paying to hurry up and get that footage, to hurry up and get that so you're not waiting. People love that fast turnaround rate.
Yes,
So in my
turnaround
mind,
time.
it's like if I can hit the ground with producing a song, with producing the music video, and having fast turnaround rate, my success rate is going to be amazing. On
See?
top of being in this game, being able to go around and film other events, other birthdays, capture the moments for people that need the moments to see them, to help motivate them
Yeah.
to maybe do the same thing, or maybe I can talk to them and put some positivity in their life,
See?
and it might drag off onto them and they can do the same thing. So leading by example, by just being motivated, learning, waking up, making sure that you're motivated to start the day with reading something, learning the definition. So you're always staying consistent because it's key, because if you don't stay consistent, you're going to fall off and it's just going to go away. You can never stop learning.
You
So
can
never
never
think
stop.
you're too good to pick up a book.
Never think you're too.
YouTube's my best friend.
I love you too.
YouTube is
And
like
Google.
it's like the mini school of how to.
It is. You can learn. You can do anything on. How do you?
How do you?
How do you? And it will tell you.
It will tell you. And there's
Several
different
videos.
versions. Different versions. So yeah, so
I
it's just
love it. I love it. Oh my goodness, Clout. So, two words that resonated with me: consistency and positivity. Being positive, being consistent, no matter what you have done, no matter what you're doing now, if you learn to be consistent, even this show, even shows that are featured on WJZZ Cool TV, one of the hottest stations of the
one
world.
of the
One of these
one of
hottest
the hottest.
stations in the world. If you continue to be consistent, your ratings will go up. You'll have more relationships. You'll build more relationships. And you'll want to keep going. You know why? Because you'll see the results.
Yeah.
You can't see results until you start. And when you start and you keep going, you keep putting one foot in front of the other, one opportunity in front of the other, one connection in front of the other. So many people come with all of those opportunities.
Yeah.
And you continue to build, and you'll see an empire. And that is what this is all about. And I know the followers that we do have that started on our show on Lady Love Music. You know, we started in 2020, Hitman E and I miss my baby. I miss him. Yes, he is in Florida, going back and forth from Florida to Georgia, which is okay. But when he comes back in here, y'all already know how it is. But when it's such a vibe. It's such a vibe.
And that makes it so much easier. Like, when you can enjoy what you're doing, there's nothing greater than that.
It's nothing greater than that.
Nothing.
And you know what? To whom much is given, much is required. But when you do it, it's easy and it's fun, just like Cloutz said. But when we started this underground music review just wanting to connect with the world and give the world an opportunity to express themselves. We learned doing that everywhere, from Switzerland to Africa, connected with us. Italy, France. We've had people coming from everywhere. And it was such a beautiful experience. Now we got to get the people from Lady Love Music platform onto WJZZ, which is phenomenal. You know, and Cloutz is doing the same thing. He started here, and I'm not going to go off to you, so I'm going to let you tell your story. Cloutz have his own thing, too. You know, I'm going to have you talk about that, and then we're going to introduce and talk a little bit about a guest that we have coming in here.
I'm excited about that.
I am, too.
I feel like that people need to know who this guy is.
Yes.
And I feel like just when you talk, like even first talking to him, you can feel the sincerity, and it's just, I love the way he carries himself, because it's like a respect thing. So it's like, it's just building.
It is. It's so exciting.
Everywhere you go, you just, my mind's always
creating.
My mind's always creating.
We're always creating, and that's a good thing. Are you creating? What are you doing with your time? You know, are you adding value to you and what you do? And every time you do something, are you adding value? That is a must. If you're not, you can start. It's always time to start.
And don't start tomorrow. Start right now.
Start right now. Cloutz, 2 minutes. Tell them about your reviews and the things that you have done and your, you know, all of that.
All right, so I started out Proud by Cloutz back in March 22nd. Almost 2 years. Proud by Cloutz. PRODBYCLOUTZ.
Proud by Cloutz.
ProudByCloutz.com.
He's saying it so fast. I just want to make sure that you heard
I'm
it.
always, because I be talking to like 80 different people and like
you're trying to hurry up and get out, like
yeah, I got the like Speedy Gonzalez.
Right, yanda, yabba andale.
Right, I done told 8 different people at one time. They're like, "What the hell?"
Like, what did you just say? Like, what?
Yeah, so slow down. Stop the Red Bulls.
Okay.
It happens.
Go.
All right, so I started Proud by Cloutz almost 2 years ago. March 22nd is coming up. So throughout this 2 years of doing music reviews, I've connected with a lot of artists, a lot of up-and-coming artists, and some bigger, some smaller, but you know what? They all do the same thing. They all make music and they make emotion, and I love the fact that I get to interact with those who are out there that just love what they're doing, and it rubs off on me, and it helps me be a better person, because I know that there's this artist right here that I just heard, and he's really good.
Mm-hmm.
I have a connection that might be able to get him to a better platform.
Yeah.
So if I can take his platform and build him up to feed his family, that's one of my main goals.
See?
Because it's all about just giving back and just loving what you do, and it makes it that much more easier. But so throughout this process, I got involved with the Rough Riders.
Rough Riders.
You know, yes, DMX's Rough Riders, and my best friend of 20 plus years was a Rough Rider. He ended up passing away. Rest in peace, AJ Banks.
Rest in peace.
And so his mom has been a wonderful, wonderful wonderful person, but it was her only child, so she, you know, so Ty, I love you. If you're watching this, I love you. So, Grand Rapids Rough Riders, yes, that was a shout out. You already know.
Shout out. Yeah.
Anyway, so throughout that, my connection went to all the way to New York with the Rough Riders out there. And so they ended up putting me in connection with Antonio Simmons, which he is the director and producer of Dogman. So we had DMX's last project. So we got the soundtrack we're working on. So it's cool because all the artists and stuff, all the underground artists, if they're good enough and they're showing me what they can do, they can get placed onto that soundtrack of DMX's last project. And if you look it up, Antonio Simmons and Dogman, you'll see what I'm talking about. So
you can do your own research.
You can do so then he turned me into the A&R of Black Eye Entertainment. So I am the A&R of Black Eye Entertainment, which is incredible, and I feel
he
so
is the
blessed.
A&R
The A&R
for Black
Entertainment.
Black Eye.
Black Eye Entertainment.
Black Eye. I'm
Black.
laughing at you. I'm like, you missed the whole word.
Right, I'm over here.
Black
la, la,
Entertainment.
man,
Like, no, baby, it was another one in there. We in it. We are in the vein.
We
You
in
hear
it.
me?
So-
And he got his sister to help him.
Yes. That's all we love.
That's awesome. Awesome
So,
sauce.
yes, being blessed to be able to be a part of something so iconic, because you know DMX has done a lot of movies.
Yes, he has.
He's done a lot of things for a lot of people, and for us to be able to continue his legacy, because in the music game, what DMX has done, like it's amazing.
What I loved
Lives
about
he's
him.
touched.
Yes.
I mean, he had demons, but who don't
Just
have
'cause
demons?
I
And the
love my-
prayers. When he gets to talk about a prayer, everybody just stops and just, no
Yeah.
matter what you do,
He gives reverence.
yes,
He paid homage.
Absolutely.
And that's what
Absolutely.
we're supposed to do.
Absolutely. And
One
that's what
thing-
it's about.
It is. And one thing that he taught me was know them when you see them. When I heard him say that, when you see a snake, know that, accept them as a snake.
Right. All of a sudden, you're
When
surprised you
you
get bit.
When you see a person that is positive and kind, know them that they're positive and kind.
Yep.
Don't try to change a person into how you want them to be. When he said, I said, that makes so much sense. That moves stress from your life if you can think that way consistently. Okay. So, what we're going to do.
What we gonna do?
What we're going to do.
What we gonna
I
do,
think
Lady
Mississippi
Love?
came out.
Because you know, we
Grenada came
we
out.
on one of the hottest stations right now. So
We on
therefore,
the
like,
whole stations did what?
This is what I love about it. Like,
This is so hard.
when you can smile and laugh and enjoy what you're doing, you're on the right track.
Right. I have a ball. Honey, I
That's
got to
what
have a
it's
ball
about.
in my
Got
life. You
to,
are not about to
got
be
to,
in here with no
got to.
gloomy, roomy,
No.
froggy, sloggy type attitude.
Froggy sloggy, all slimy.
We're
and
not
stuff.
doing
No.
all of that. Thank goodness for St. Patrick's. It is green. That's great. But we're going to have a ball. But I have to introduce this beautiful gentleman, okay?
Yes.
I have known my brother, and I haven't said his name yet, but I have known him for a very long time. Back in high school days. Straight out of Detroit. Mumford. Come on, Burgundy Blue. Come on, 1, 2. Burgundy Blue, 1, 2.
Don't give me dancing, girl.
Blue.
Don't give me dancing.
Oh my goodness, but this gentleman, he was always so creative. He was always making music. He was always in the music room. You always found, if you didn't know where this young man was, and I'm not going to give nobody his driver's license name, but if you didn't know where this young man was, you would be able to find him in the music room or the music room or the band room. And just knowing the type of person he is, he was always willing to help you with something. So I'm going to give you an example. We had to do a Thriller dance, okay? Just a little bit, just go with me. We were learning Michael Jackson Thriller, and he was one of the teachers, him and Nick. When him and Nick had to teach the whole choir, not just regular choir, not just chorale, not just show choir, all of us, how to do these dance moves. If you were picked, you were really pressed by him and all of the other teachers. But when we got a chance to do this dance in the pep rally, we blasted it out. And just to know that not only his leadership and not only his mentorship in choreography, not just choreography, but piano, I can name so much. He is always willing, ready, and able. And I love calling him my brother. I love saying that, hey, what are you doing? I want to come in the studio and get this done. If he's in the city, he got me. If he ain't, I gotta wait. But he was always and is always available. And he's always available for a listening ear. I remember one day I called him. I was going through some things working at my hospital. There was so much going on. It was during COVID. And he heard it right away. You need them type of people, just like meeting Cloutz. If they can connect with you and they know where you are, you got it. You got it. You're connected. So I'm going to introduce this beautiful young man, Maestro.
Say his name
From
again?
Maestro. How they do the Maestro music in the orchestra hall. Yes, you can have a seat, my brother. Come on in the room. Yes, have a seat.
Yes.
Take one of those seats. Yes, yes, and yes.
Welcome.
Welcome, Maestro. This is the Maestro from Silent Riot Studios. He created Silent Riot Studios, and I can't begin to tell you his story better than he can. He would have to go into all that. And he has such a story, even how he came up, or was not came up, received the name Maestro. So, ladies and gentlemen,
You were there.
boys and girls, kings and queens,
Kings and queens. I'm all over
my
the
brother,
world.
from all over, say it, you said it,
I'm all over the world.
from all over the
And we
world,
appreciate you and love you for that.
we bring to you the Maestro.
Howdy.
Howdy, howdy.
How you doing?
Tell us who you are and why you started out being the creator of music and where that came from.
I actually don't remember. I have like baby pictures of me behind the keyboard.
See?
So it's like I just always remember being around music. My father was a minister of music at a couple of different churches. So I just grew up with keyboards around the house. That that whole side of the family was just musical. So my god brother likes to tease me and say he was the only one. Oh, I was the only one that he knew. While everybody else had speaking spells, speaking math, I was the only one that had to speak in music. So it was like I can't remember a time in my life without it.
That's amazing.
So you are music.
Yeah. Yeah.
You was about to take that with you.
Oh,
You that was already in your mind.
That's the definition. Like, this is amazing.
To just have that mindset, to be born into it.
Yeah,
It's
brought
a
up
different
some-
world.
You brought up some crazy stories.
Do you
though.
remember?
Yeah. That was
Oh
like
my God, him, Nicholas. Who else? I know it was mainly you two.
Conaflay.
Conaflay, yes,
Eric.
Conaflay.
Eric.
Eric.
Jawanza.
Yes.
Ujama.
Ujama.
You remember Eugene? He didn't graduate. He didn't stay there. But Eugene was like a light skinned dude, played keyboards. I just seen him not too long ago.
I would
He
have
was
to see
crazy
his
on
face.
keys too. Yeah.
Do I remember you? It sounds familiar, but just bringing back the love and bringing back the memory of Mumford. That memory is something that you can never, never, never forget. We had a ball
Yeah.
in
was
high
not
school. Like
supposed to
my
be
high
that.
school years, it ain't nothing like it is now.
It was not supposed to be that much fun.
We had a ball. track. I was in dance workshop, chorale, choir, show choir. What else did I do? I couldn't cheer because they said, Nicole, you can only do track or cheerlead, so you can't do both. I'm like, okay, fine, great. But it was just so fun and invigorating. Miss Thompson,
They kind of let us do what we wanted to do. Like, I won't say the ones that they saw that were like responsible enough, Miss Thompson,
Yeah.
John Wilkins, that's my OG.
John Wilkins.
When Miss Spike came, that's when the temperature kind of changed.
Mm-hmm.
And if they saw that you could take the reins, they gave it to you.
Yeah.
So it was like, it was a lot to learn. It was a lot to learn really fast. I wasn't expecting to, I went to Cass one year. They kicked me out. They barely let me in any of the music programs. And so when I got to Mumford, it was like, oh, okay. You do this,
Whole
do this,
world.
do this. Yeah, it was like I was everywhere at the same time.
Man, Maestro, when you would play keys, I so was about to say your name, but Maestro, when
That's my name. I don't run from it. Yeah.
You don't run from it. I'm still gonna respect you where you are. Okay.
I appreciate it.
But when you would play the piano, he played the piano so. I mean, it just was like Beethoven playing.
Yeah, I always
The
the crazy part about it is I always said I really wasn't that good at keys.
He was just playing. And I go in. I do.
Just went to the zone.
I create my own. It just comes out. But he would play, and you would feel him and Jawanza. And Jawanza used to always sing some of Commission. How can you? Remember, he would always play that and sing it. But you guys just carried a presence, and you called to order. So if our leaders respected you and said, hey, this is the torch, they saw something in you that they didn't mind you taking over and giving to the other students. We didn't have a lot of issues in school. I don't remember a lot of issues. Like, you had a few, but it wasn't predominant. You know, you made 10%. It was like 10% maybe of negative, but 90% was positive.
Yeah,
That's a phenomenal thing. So, moving from high school, what moved you into producing and going into production? You played, you had it in you. What was that push, and how did you get the name Maestro?
I ran away from the name Maestro for a long time. I forget her name. You might remember her name. She was. I can't remember whether she was clarinet or flute. I want to say she was a flute player. Tall, light-skinned girl with long wavy hair. Senior year when I came in, 11th grade year. I came in and I had the jazz song to teach to the jazz band, and I was essentially kicking out, like, we restructured the jazz band, so I was essentially kind of kicking out certain band members, that didn't fit the new structure of the band. And so she was kind of salty about that, and when I went up to the piano to the first time to teach the band the song, she looked at me, she just, kind of blurted out in the classroom, like, oh, who you supposed to be, the maestro or something? And the whole classroom started laughing. So I'm like, oh, So I kind of ran from it then. Then you remember, like, spring concerts, winter concerts, I'll be, like, male choir, concert choir, show choir, jazz band, choir, and it was like I just kept changing clothes. Like that whole night, every winter and spring concert, and same thing. In the middle, I was changing clothes, and I think I had on like some choir stuff and still had some band stuff on at the same time.
Up under it, right?
And they was like, "Oh, you supposed to be the maestro or something?" I'm like, "Oh, here we go."
Oh.
So I went down to college.
What college?
Kentucky State.
Okay,
yeah.
Kentucky State,
Same thing. 1 year. Got
Who's
kicked
my
out.
twin?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. She was down there too. Yep.
It's Bianca.
So Elena Barnes, she was in the from Mumford. She was in the room when it happened at Kentucky. And
she was there. Well, okay.
Yeah. So her and her sister Danielle, they both went down to K-State. Same thing in the band room. They start talking about, all these different groups that you're in, and in college it's a little different because every scholarship that you have is a job, and they want their hours for the
Okay.
money that they giving you, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it was, I'm playing piano for jazz band, I'm playing trombone or auxiliary percussion for concert band, I'm playing snare drum for marching band. I'm in like 3 or 4 different choirs, so all these different jobs I had,
Avenues.
and the rehearsals, and I'm trying to schedule, and I just told the band director, like, I can't do that. I got choir rehearsal, and the whole band just turned around and looked at me like, what that got to do with anything that we talking about? Like, you gotta choose
Like, you
one.
the
It's
year
it's
or
band
you-
or choir, which
Yeah.
gang on that tip. So
Yeah.
it was same thing. Like, what you supposed to be, the maestro or something? And then Danielle and Elena turned around and looked at me because they were in the room. Tony was there too. They were in the room when it happened at Mumford.
See?
And they turned around and looked and was like, oh, that's crazy. And so came back to Detroit, started making beats. The very first beat I sold, this dude named Tez, that also went to Mumford, Tez Moore. His pops had a studio in the basement, and it was like a bunch of strings in the beat.
Mm-hmm.
And while we were tracking the beat in, the first thing he said, he was like, oh, you sound like you the maestro or something.
I know you
And
like.
I was like, okay,
all right,
I
that's
understand.
it.
I got to stop running from it. So
Mhm.
I just went on ahead and accepted it. But for a while, I actually ran away from that name because it was, it was like, oh, you trying to do such and such and such and such.
Yeah,
And it was
it's like, because when you see it, you would never know. Like, why would he call himself Maestro? And then, like you would say, people would say, who does he think he is?
Mhm.
But to hear this story, it was given to you.
Yeah.
multiple times.
It was
I know
given
what
to
you're
you.
saying.
I reluctantly accepted
And it was like, okay, I have to accept my call
Mhm.
because it's calling.
It was
I'm
better
gonna-
than the other names I came up with for myself. They were trash.
I'm curious to know what these names are.
Never.
He said,
Never.
not.
Never.
That's
No.
got to come out like the VH1 biopic or something.
You like, not I said that.
Oh man, they were god awful.
You think you know, but you.
Man, just terrible ideas I had.
Wow. So when you started producing, how did you feel when people received what you created for them? When they were happy or whatever, how did you feel?
I felt like if I can continue to do this and continue to somehow figure out a way to people to pay me to do this thing that I would do for free,
Yeah.
the enjoyment of that, it was just it just felt like I would never have to really work. And seeing, like, a lot of times I'm doing songs, and no matter at what stage somebody brings me the song, my job is to make the song pop off the page, and however great they heard the song in their head, I need
You
to
had to
at
hear
least
it.
make it sound 3 or 4 times as good as that.
Okay.
When I get that, the reactions on stage, the reactions, and that's
That's
it's just-
encore.
Yeah, it's real fulfilling.
Do you want more?
Yeah, it's really fulfilling.
It's a definite fulfillment.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go into this, and we're gonna play a few songs, and I want to hear what you have to say regarding these songs because you're gonna review it with us if you don't mind. Okay?
Songs of mine?
Nope.
Okay, cool.
Hold on. So
That's great.
I went into Silent Riot Studios. And when I went into Silent Riot Studios, I ain't gonna say we. I gave the idea of what I was working on, and I had to sing it to Maestro.
You had to sing it.
I had to sing it. Then he had to hear what. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, Nicole, calm down. He had to hear what I was singing and what I wanted in the song. So his studio is immaculate. I mean, he got a live side and all of the engineering side. So however you want it, you can get it. So he put out all of his things, some extra stuff that he needed. He was tapping on things, boom, boom. I'm like, what is he doing? All of a sudden, what he heard and what I heard came alive. And then not only did it come alive, he added like a jazzy thing with it. And I'm like, I had to learn, and I end up learning along the way that I was a jazz singer. I didn't realize I was a jazz singer. I was like,
How did you feel when
how did I feel when I found that I was a
Yeah.
jazz singer?
you realized that?
So when I realized that and how I felt amazing because I could take the sound and really move it how I want to move it in improvisation, because that's the sound.
Yeah.
I don't have to stick to a certain thing. You want to have your logistics, but you could still move it how you want to move it. But the way that Maestro created my song, I'm so excited to get this done. And I'm excited to have people hear it. But he heard so many angles, and he was excited playing it. I was watching his face, and he's like, "Oh wait, hold on, I like the boom," and then boom, 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 and was able to create chords. The chords showed up, all of these sounds. I was like, "What is my song?" This is what's up. And when you get with geniuses, we're geniuses. You think you're a genius,
Absolutely.
honey? You think you're a genius?
Reluctantly,
Sir.
yes.
She said reluctantly,
Do I think I'm a
but
genius? Yes. God created me a queen genius. But putting all of the gifts and creativity together is it's priceless. It's something that you can't explain. It's just something you do, right? All right. Okay. So this
Very
is
well
what I
said.
was it. Yay!
It is.
What do you think? I'm gonna let you chime in for a minute. What do you think about creativity? Because you create music as well. And how do you feel when you create it?
I feel like music to me is expression, and because that's how music turns out different all the time, because one minute you're feeling this way and the next minute you're feeling like this, and it's like that creative expression, and to be able to turn that into from emotion to a physical form, to being able to have people, like, you could be sad, and then what song Maestro creates, it could turn you happy. So he's creating that emotion. So it's that, yeah, it's, sometimes you're mad, you'll create a song and you'll be like, okay, that's not, no, we're not gonna go there.
Like, I didn't want to really, like, is that me?
Is that me? But somebody get on this thing, it's gonna be nice. But so the creative process to me is the most organic, the most emotions you're gonna get because of that creative process.
Yeah.
Because without that creative process, there wouldn't be the next step. So without Maestro not being able to do what he's doing, you wouldn't have been able to get what you're doing. But it's also amazing that you can take what you're feeling and tell him, and he puts that out there. Like you said, wait a minute, that's my song. That's that vision. And for somebody to have that vision, that's a special talent.
Yes, it
And when
is.
somebody has that special talent, pay attention.
Yes.
Because them are the ones that are going to give you the real, and they're going to help you understand how to grow from that. Because a lot of people don't understand the growth.
And that
So,
process.
Right, and like he said, like, I'm doing this as a job, but it's not a job because it's what I'm passionate about. So when you're around people that are passionate about what they're doing, that's not only going to levitate you and elevate you, but it's also
Yes.
going to create that environment for you guys to create some amazing stuff.
And keep doing it.
And keep doing it.
And people are going to want to be a part of that.
Absolutely.
Because everyone has creative genius in them. They just need to be around people that can help them get it out.
And sometimes people tend to take their creativeness and try to do what other people are doing and not follow their own path. So it's like what I do.
It can
other
be
people,
scary.
Yes, it can. It can, but that's what makes it pay off, because it's the sacrifice, it's the dedication,
Exactly.
it's the passion that you have for your craft. So it's like you take it that much further and you have that much more feel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
Music
then,
is
like
emotion.
you were saying, the consistency and
yes.
the positivity. You got to
Yes.
be positive. The courage is in the positivity.
Absolutely.
And you got to be courageous to do it.
And you got to be willing to step outside the box. You got to
Honey.
be willing to be like,
Willing.
yes, willing, and it's just, you know,
It's amazing.
what do you call it?
Y'all.
Vulnerable. You
Oh,
got to
yeah.
be willing to be vulnerable,
Yeah, you do.
because
where
with
the
that
honesty
vulnerability,
comes in.
yeah.
I love it. Y'all, we're going to play this song, and it's called Special Now, this song is by a brother of mine. He's become a brother of mine. He's a real close brother of yours.
Oh yeah, I just got like this guy. Me and him are friends. Like I
See?
don't. That's it. Like I'm blessed to be where I'm at, especially sitting next to you guys, the Lady Lovely, Lady Love, and just the pure passion and dedication that people have around me, and it like feeds my energy to be able to boost me up and to help boost you guys up to create them smiles, and you know what I mean. So this is amazing because who you're about to play, I really feel this guy has a lot to offer people, the younger crowd, if y'all just like sit back and listen to what these old school cats that have been in the game for so long, what they have to say, because what they have to say, they've been through it.
Right.
They have made a success out of that. So if somebody that's made a success out of it, them are the ones that really understand how deep this is.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yes.
and them are the ones you want to sit back and give respect to enough to listen and not try to overtalk them.
Yeah.
Because you're going to learn something.
If you listen.
And it's vital because them things that them cats are telling you is what's going to help you elevate.
Honey.
So, so sit back and listen. Like KK
Yes.
says, sit back and listen sometimes.
So this is a song by KK from Second to None. If you all know Second to None, DJ Quick, Ice Cube, the whole family, West Coast family, KK is doing a beautiful thing. He stepped out and created some music that he wants the world to hear that's coming straight from him.
Independently.
Independently, yes, sir. So this song is called Special, and what we're going to do, we're going to review this song. I'm going to go into the process. So what we do, we review feel, beat, mix. Now, if there's a video, we also review the video. You have 10 points per category. So what we're going to do, we're going to play the song, we're going to listen, and we're going to get it going. It's called Special, y'all.
Them pretty feet, cute face, damn boy, she looking like you just my size. I'm like a kid on Christmas, my gift list is this, call it my surprise. That's why you're special to me, call you my bottom chick, a thug's love, who I go to the top from the bottom with. Your competition the fiercest, but still you got 'em with. Dimple imprint, we kiss, give me that bottom lip. A diamond's obsolete, call you my quarter piece. Strictly adoring the mentality in your speech. I thank the Lord cause I'm blessed, you blessed. So intellectual, sexual, girl you special.
Girl, you're so special. Can a player spend some time with you? Believe me, you're special. I don't think you even have a clue. It's your hair, your pretty face. I want my arms around your waist, cause you're special. And I hope to spend this time with you.
Girl, I'm trying to get up off of this phone. This ain't getting it. I'd rather have a face-to-face to where you talking that. I can work with what I'm dealing with. Something soft, brain equipped. Arranged right from hairstyle to French tips. I get different looks after I sip. Your profile, nose tips, curled lips, breasts and hips. How else is a man supposed to look at it? Look at this, baby. Nah, excuse me, young lady. Let's keep on the calm. I ain't talking to you crazy. Maybe if you took a minute or a few seconds, just a fraction of your time, to realize the treasure you are. Reasons I'm here with you. Soon enough, I'm hoping you'll find that
girl, you're so special. Can a player spend some time with you? Believe me, you're special. I don't think you even have a clue. It's your hair, your pretty face. I want my arms around your waist, cause you're special. And I hope to spend this time with you. I wanna show you how you need to be treated. Give it to you good, even when you don't need it. Looking like you're loving life, let me hit you with some new game. When you get a chance to know a nigga, say he won't change. All my homies know I'm solid, so I'm good in the streets. And I don't trip off these women, cause it's only you I need. I'm a hustler, plus I
All right,
keep it
y'all,
on
you are
cruise
listening
control.
to Special by KK from Second to None. So the Lady Love and Hitman E Underground Music Review Show, if you are just tuning in, we are a pair that reviews music and underground music and artists that are coming up, not just artists that are coming up, artists that are established and also are putting music out that the world needs to hear. So we're elated to be able to give our opinion. This is just our opinion. It's not something that we are told to do. It's just something that we have decided to do on our own. So that's a small disclosure. What we do is fill, beat, and mix. And what I want to do, I want to elaborate on how I felt about the song and what I got from it. So I like the song. I definitely like the song. I like the vibe. It's a love song, but it's a rap love song. It's like a hip hop opera to me.
Ooh,
It's like a hip hop opera. But what I felt is that the disposition of what the man was given to the woman, and this can be any man and any woman, it was appreciation. Not just appreciation, but he wanted to spend time with her because he valued her and what she had given to him. There was something about her. There was a connection that they had, and he didn't want to lose that connection. And with that being said, if you don't move on it, if you don't act on it, you can lose it. If you don't use it, you lose it, right? So what I appreciated and what I liked about it is that, he kept his cool. He still had his swag. He wasn't too corny, and he didn't seem too pushy. Because some men can be real pushy when they're trying to get with a woman. It's nothing wrong with being strong. It's nothing wrong with, what you got, how much money you make, and what type of value you have. But if you're too pushy, you can lose a woman. Yeah. I didn't hear that. I heard like, hey, I hear where you are. I see where you are. I like your mind. I like your vibe, and I want to get with you. The beat, I love the beat. The beat was a very smooth beat. It was very cool. It did remind you of the 90s, like a 90s sound. I love the 90s sound. You can never get rid of the 90s or the 80s sound. So I definitely felt that the beat went with the lyrics. And to understand if a person is going to perform a song or record a song, whatever level you're on, those words need to match that vibe. Mm-hmm. The energy, everything needs to connect. You feel me? So I give for feel 10, beat 10, mix sound good. The high lows, the volume was mixed well to me. I didn't hear anything. I didn't think that the lyrics or the vocals were too loud. I thought that they were just right. Sometimes the music can be lowered a little bit, but it was lowered just enough so you can hear the lyrics. That's all I got. I give Special a 30. I'm gonna let you go, Maestro. I want to hear your.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm a jerk. Okay.
You said you a jerk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this
He's
one makes
a jerk.
I'm a music jerk. It actually makes me good at my job.
We need that in this. We need that.
I liked it. It reminded me of like my old hood when I was doing a bunch of stuff I ain't had no business
the
doing.
90s.
As soon as the beat came on, I was just like, oh man. Like,
Get the sweat.
I remember this.
Flashbacks.
The verses were smooth. I'm not necessarily the target audience for that song, so
Yeah.
I hear it and I hear straight pimping for the whole song.
He said straight pimp.
Yeah, that's what it was.
I said
respect
hip hop
it.
opera.
Yeah, I respect it. No, I was straight pimping. I think the simple fact that you liked it so much, it was like mission accomplished. Like
I know, right? Yeah.
he said just what he needed
He
to say
sure
in
did.
the smooth ways he needed to say it. Like you said, not too pushy, not too
Yeah.
but still got his point across. I can dig it.
Well, good. How about you, Cloutz?
The thing that I love about that song.
Wait. What's your number? So you got feel, beat, mix. What are your ratings for feel, rating for beat, and rating for mix?
Feel.
Mm-hmm. and
This
the
is where,
highest
this,
is 10.
this is where the jerk part comes in.
The jerk.
It's okay. We all need it,
Terrible,
bro.
bro.
We all need it.
So feel, I might say like 7.5.
7.5. Okay.
What's the next one? You said
Beat. Mm-hmm.
It reminded me of, especially when it first came on, it reminded me of some like old school Ant Banks, Too Short.
Yeah.
And I kind of grew up on that and Spice One and stuff. I get at, oh man. Okay, I'm gonna get at about an 8.
Get at about an 8.
The mix, because that's what I do, and I think that half the stuff on the radio I should be mixing anyway. Or just one of the things that stood out in the mix for me is as soon as the hook came in, it seemed like it was a little too loud, much louder than the verses.
Oh, the hook was louder than the verses. Okay.
Yeah, the main line when it first came in, and then the ad libs was a little too loud. Like I pick apart mixes like crazy. So but it's okay. Oh, I'm in the hot chair.
You are in the hot seat. Dun dun dun.
I'm gonna go 7 on the mix.
Okay, 7.
I'm gonna go 7 on the mix. Yeah.
So 22.5. Okay. All right. So what about you, Cloutz?
All right, so the off rip, I do believe on the first, who's on the hook is Boomer, and I do
Okay.
believe Boomer is the one that produced this track and mixed it.
Okay.
Because Boomer did. This is on Dedicated album.
Oh, this is on Dedicated. Okay.
I think it's on Dedicated.
Okay. Okay.
If it is on Dedicated album, KK's Dedicated album,
Mm-hmm.
Boomer produced that whole thing. So
Nice.
big ups
Okay.
to him for, and he raps and all that stuff, and he's really good at choruses. But for me, off rip, it gave me that new school meets old school.
Mm-hmm.
Like KK's still keeping it real, like who he is. This is who he is. KK. If anybody goes back and looks at what KK's done and who he's done music with, and the Second None, and they were in the Snoop Dogg back when the West was beating with the East Coast. Oh, y'all don't love this and that. So KK was there for all that stuff. So KK's been in the game for so long, and you can tell by the way he raps on the mic where he's from.
Okay.
He keeps that swag on that because he's letting you guys know no matter how much time goes by, like I am who I am.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I love when you guys had that interview when you was like second to none, like he is who he is.
Mm-hmm.
The guy doesn't buy jewelry, he doesn't floss anything. Like he's just a down.
You just him.
He's just him. He don't need nothing to fancy, all that fancy stuff. And that's what I respect, because when somebody can be that humble,
Mm-hmm.
be in this game for that long, and it's hard. It's hard. It's hard to be in the music game that long and and maintain
And
it
still keep it. Yeah.
and still keep it.
Because it still sounds
but
the
at the same time, you're being who you are and you're showing people love, and it's amazing. So for me, the feel, I'm going 10 because I love the fact that it feels like it's still, he's keeping it who he is. He's not switching up. A lot of artists get, they'll switch up. And they'll just sound different, or they'll try to blend in, they'll try to fit in.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's not what I got
He kept
from
him.
this. Yeah, he kept himself to be who he was. So on the feel, that's what I feel about the about 10. And on the beat, I love the beat because I just love that sound. That sound is just it's different sound than other sounds, so it kind of gets you in that
The rhythm or the vibe.
oh, okay then, okay. And the stuff he was talking about. So, we can all relate.
Yeah, we can.
We can all relate to having something special in our lives.
I know, and I like a guy who just, you push me, but don't force me.
Right. Oh,
But
force
you
it,
can
push
grab a
in
little
there.
grab, okay, but not no.
Right.
So, yeah, I
so
like that.
yeah, the mix, I would go down to an 8 on that.
Okay.
Because it's mixed good. It's a good mix. But I also do, like you said, being a producer, you tend to stop and kind of pick up on things, and we all do it. We're all what we're involved in, and we see somebody else doing it. We just kind of tend to be like, okay, so, but there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong
Absolutely
with that.
not. Absolutely not.
So I'm giving the mix an 8.
Okay.
But the feel, I love the feel, I love the beat.
So 10, 10, and 8.
And I'm trying not to be biased because I got to spend the whole week with these guys. Personally, got to go and do appearances with them and all that stuff. So,
everybody loved when y'all came.
yo, it was
Even
so much
to
love.
Woodbridge.
Man. It
Yes,
was so much
Sky
love.
loved you all.
It was so much love.
All right, so I got 28, 22 and a half, and then 30. That's a very good, but I love how you all are producers and you all can hear certain sounds and what's needed, because it'll help the next go round. And the logistics of
Yes.
of music, you need to know those logistics. Maestro has his own studio. Maestro is doing this 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And you're doing yours 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But I know you're you all have your own, and then you have your own mind and renditions. So I love it. So I'm glad that we were able to play at least one of KK's songs. But moving back into Maestro, you went into your process. You began, you started in your creativity. You started at birth, moved it into school days. Then you went into your own. Then tell us how the journey has been since you have taken this beautiful gift and blessed the world to help them with their gifts.
Yes.
What steps did you take? What connections have you made, and are you still doing music, and what are you doing now?
Oh wow, that is
it's
that's
about a
lot.
10-minute.
Yeah, like it was a 3-minute answer until you said
what you doing now?
The connections and
Yeah.
like all the people that have helped like along the way. It's been wild. The experience mainly good, especially you look up, brush off the dust, look check your scars, and it's been amazing, especially considering I was having this conversation with Marv One the other day, and I was talking about how many things we talked about when we was 15, 16 at the studio, how many things we wanted to do, how many of those things we have accomplished, how many of those things we haven't accomplished yet, and the road to that. And I was talking about, I was kind of looking at it from a pessimistic kind of, still got to do this, still got to do that, and he asked me like how many. He said, "What is the best experience you've had since I used to tour with D12?" He said, "What's the best experience you've had since then?" And I started thinking, and I'm like, "It's too many for me to quantify that into one single experience." And he was like, "My point exactly. Like you've had way too many super dope experiences to look at it any other way than
quantify
to be blessed every day doing what I do. It's it's fun. I click a lot of buttons, like you said, 25, 8.
25.
Oh my God.
Right now I'm doing like 2 movies, a TV episode. I got a couple of projects to finish, like some big major projects that I actually believe in. It's been this thing I've been asking God to place in my life the things that were gonna help everyone.
That's
right.
Music
is this thing that has the power to talk to people in
so
at times
ways.
where they're not even really listening, not even really paying attention, and that is a powerful and sometimes dangerous thing in the hands of the wrong person. And the older I got, the more I was doing this, the more I understood the responsibility that I had, not just pressing and clicking buttons and getting the song to sound good. Sometimes people would leave the studio, and depending on the content, I would go home. That's when it started to feel like work. I would go home and think about, like, did what I do today put more good out in the earth or put more bad out into the earth? And so not only me asking to bring more positivity in my life, but to get rid of all the negativity in my life and be careful what you ask God for, because he is listening.
Honey.
He's always listening. And so it was it kind of hurt when, you know, I'm asking for, keep this negativity away from me, off of me, make sure, you know.
Yeah, cover me.
Yeah. And
That's
then
the covering.
I had to start getting rid of people. Yeah. You know, and it's like, some 17-year relationships,
honey,
19-year relationships where I'm just like,
Maestro,
man, I can't.
I agree. And you know what? I am so grateful that you're chiming into that. And I know we got to close. I want you to come back. You got to come. We got to finish this.
That'd be fun.
This is not enough. I mean, so come back. I'm going to have you come back. But, you know, it's a pleasure to hear that you are grounded.
Oh, good word.
Grounded and seasoned. We are going to close on Grounded and Seasoned. You are watching WJZZ Cool TV.
I appreciate it.
I almost got tongue twisted. Lady Love and Hitman E Underground Music Review Show with my co-hosts, Cloutz, and my beautiful brother from another mother, the Maestro, on the coolest station in the world. Lady Love brings the heat to them. Lady Love heat. Lady Love heat. Lady Love heat. And we